Hey guys, welcome to my new segment of New Tech in Auto by the Girls Mechanic team. My name is Joanna Bergen and I'm so excited to be starting these new segments. I will be having different guests on discussing different topics, keeping it fun yet still educational. Welcome to my third episode of New Tech in Auto. Before we get into it, here are the top Ford news for the past month. Ford actually starting trials on their robot charging station that's designed for disabled drivers to give them a much needed helping hand. And I don't know if you guys saw the new 2023 F-150 Raptor R. It is the most powerful F-150 Raptor. It's a supercharged V8 engine that cranks out 700 horsepower. That's insane. It also has 640 pound-foot of torque, so it gives you that insane off-roading experience for all my off-roading lovers. Lastly, this isn't confirmed by Ford, but it's not denied either. They're looking to cut off 8,000 jobs in the States so they can focus their money on electric vehicle investments. Let's get back into it with my episode for today. This episode is a must-watch for anyone that wants tips on how to save money, pick the right car, and avoid getting scammed when you're purchasing a vehicle. If you're like me, buying a car can be a really stressful decision, and I personally don't even know where to start. Which is why I'm so excited for our guest today. Vivian has 7 years of experience at General Motors in marketing and sales, and she herself founded Making Auto Easy. That is a car shopping experience for women made by women. And she's basically built a car recommendation system that helps women understand their options to discover and pick the right car for them. And she was recently showcased in the BC Startup Showcase for Women Under 30, where she came in second place in their pitch competition. Congratulations and welcome, Vivian, and thank you for coming on today.
Awesome, thanks so much. Happy to be here.
So I have so many questions for you when it comes to buying a car. I might go through this process very soon, but let's just start with today's environment and the market right now. So I know there's a huge wait list because of all the vehicle shortages. What's your best advice on how to get a vehicle really quickly?
Yeah, realistically, you're looking at 6 to 8 months of a waiting time. And if you're looking for an electric vehicle, it's definitely going to be longer. So having that expectation of, being able to decide on what car you want early on is going to be really important. And because it's such a large purchase, you want to make sure you're doing all your research as fast as possible so you're making the right decision. And that's actually why we created Maze, to help people make that decision really fast. So one of the things that we've also noticed is that inventory is normalizing. So that means there is more inventory now than what we'd seen last year. The shortage is still going to happen for the next couple of years, is what experts are saying. But that being said, I would take a look at dealership websites, manufacturer websites for inventory updates, and then see if there's something there. Also shop around outside of maybe the city or area that you're living in to find some competitive deals.
I actually never thought about shopping outside the area. That's really smart. Thanks again. So I have a question about when it comes to leasing your car. So for example, I leased my Venza about 5 years ago, which was before the microchip shortages and COVID altogether. And from what I heard, if I buy out my lease at this price today, I can sell it at a much higher profit. What do you think about that? Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you're thinking about selling your car, it's definitely the right time to do so. Last year was you saw astronomically high selling prices. Things are getting a little bit they're slowing down because of the supply getting a little bit better. So maybe, if your expectations were higher last year, they won't be at that same level. That being said, you could still sell your car for more than what you anticipated for. So if you're coming out of a lease, I think it's a great time. You can also look at you can pull you can take your lease out even sooner if you'd like. So understanding what the value of your lease is, to see if there's an opportunity to sell it for more, and searching online to see what the offers are. But what you can also do is you can go to the dealership that you bought the vehicle from if you didn't want to go through the work of selling your car privately. They might be interested in buying your vehicle back at a higher price, and it's beneficial for them because they can get 2 deals and sell 2 cars instead of 1.
I never thought about reaching to the dealership. I might actually do that and see what they say. So what's the best place to find the value of your car? Because I've looked up mine and I see a range, but I don't know if I should go high or low. What's your experience with that?
Yeah, you've probably gone online and looked at the instant cash offers, right? Yeah, so I mean, if you haven't done that before, an ICO or an instant cash offer, it gives you the lowest price that you can possibly get. And that's a value based off of a company called Black Book. They determine the values of all the vehicles. And dealerships also use that number as well. So now that's a very low number. Obviously, every car is going to be different based on the supply, on the quality of the vehicle. But also you can look online to see what people are selling it for. So you can see on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, dealerships and people have their cars listed privately. But those numbers also, to set your expectations, are a little bit on the higher end, sometimes inflated, because dealerships are also including their reconditioning costs, their margins, things like that. So understanding the range, and there's a lot of services online. They generally all pull the information from the same places, but there's a really great service called AutoZen, and they will give you a range for your car. And if you also want to sell it, they can do that for you as well. So that's a really neat one.
I'll leave a link for that in the description below. So what things should you consider when you're buying a car, and how do you pick the right one? I mean, that's a hard question to ask, but I'd love to hear what you have to say on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Everybody's different, and as they should be. So it's about understanding your options. I think if you haven't purchased a car in the last 5 years, a lot of things have changed. A lot of new models have been introduced. So there's things that you can explore there. But then you also kind of have to look inward. What's changed in your life since then that's going to change in what you need from a car. So understanding your options, doing the research online, going to visit dealerships to look at vehicles. But if you're not interested in that, because sometimes it's a little bit of, feel a little bit of pressure, that's actually the reason why we created May, was to help people understand all of their options so that they can make the right decision really fast, without having to spend like a month and a half researching online, which is really great for this environment, because you got to pick one really fast so that you can get onto a waiting list.
I appreciate you. This is amazing. So I know you've dealt with a lot of women that are trying to purchase vehicles, and I just want to know, what's the most common challenge between all of us, and what advice do you have on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the whole thing, right? Women stated that 2/3 of them don't know where to start when it comes to actually buying a car, and women are twice as likely to be undecided about what car to buy compared to men. So the whole thing is going to be a challenge, but where we really see a lot of it is at the dealership. And if you haven't been to a dealership and you've never purchased a car there before, you already kind of feel that pressure as a woman. So what we found with our customers that really works is being prepared and understanding what's going to happen, what your options are. You've already decided what you want and what you don't want. It makes it harder for you to be swayed. And when you get to the dealership, knowing what the entire process is, what you can negotiate on, how to read your contract, these are all things that are going to make you feel super empowered and confident at the dealership. And that's what we're trying to do at May.
So I just heard you say negotiate with dealerships. I personally don't know what I can negotiate with them, or what even I can have a say in. So do you have any tips on exactly like one specific example of what people can negotiate?
Yeah. I mean, it's looking at your contract, and you can also ask your salesperson as well. There's a lot of things that we've listed on the May website. We've got resources where we can tell you what is negotiable and what is not. But it's understanding where some of the hidden fees may be, and they may be under different names. But sometimes there are dealership fees or doc fees, which are your administration fees, where some dealerships can include some of their other services in there, or it could be include the price of floor mats or whatever it may be. So if it's more than a couple $100 or closer to $1,000 for some of the luxury brands, you might want to have that conversation with your salesperson and just ask them to disclose what is in that fee. And if it's not something you're interested in, you should absolutely have that conversation, trying to negotiate it out.
That's awesome. Thank you so much again. So before we end off, can you tell everyone where they can find you, what upcoming projects you have, and how they can get involved in that?
Yeah, so you can visit makingautoeasy.com. We actually just launched 2 services, a recommender, which is an unbiased short list of vehicles that are built for you, and a concierge service. So if you're looking to buy a car fast, we can actually shortlist all your options from 1,500 ordering combinations down to 6 to 8 vehicles that are built just for you down to the trim level, which is really cool. So those services are available online right now. You can follow us on Making Auto Easy on Instagram. We have a lot of really cool videos and educational things there for you. And right now, because we just launched the service, we're gonna offer GMT members a promo. So if you use the code GMT, you get our recommendation service for free, and you actually get a one-on-one with me, as well as 50% off our concierge. So I'm really excited to be sharing that with you.
Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm excited. I'm going to be using it myself very soon. And I'll leave all the links below for everyone to reach out to Vivian. And if you have any questions, don't forget to comment it below. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.